Welcome back to the channel and welcome to what is the start of our new job. This is going to be a garage conversion. So let's have a quick look at what we're going to be doing today, because Luke's over there ready to go. Oh, okay, no, he's not ready to go, he's just drinking tea. So this is what you would call a standard garage in the UK anyway. So it's about a 2.1 by 2.1 opening, roughly, there or thereabouts. And the plan is, this is going to be converted into a habitable space to create a single bedroom with an ensuite wet room at the back of it. So on the front here will be brickwork, have a window just there, and then there will be a door that's accessible for a wheelchair. And then what Luke's going to have to do then is, because we've got to build the floor up to match the house, so it's got to come up 100 mil, I think, if I remember. What we'll do then, to block paving will come up, and we'll little dwarf wall, do you think?
Yeah,
Little dwarf wall there, and then pick the block paving up and ramp it back down onto the driveway and sort of come round this way like that. So we're not really affecting the driveway in terms of the depth of it, because it's only going to be this depth. And if you can see, I've already got my van on the driveway there, so there's plenty of room to get in here. Then there is currently a small bathroom, a toilet sink the other side of there, and we're going to have a doorway there. There'll be a wall here to section off the ensuite. So you'll come in the door into the bedroom, but the door that's in already for the house, you walk into there and then into the bathroom area. That can't be in a habitable room, so the Cadent, which is the company that's got to come and do this, will come and remove that and that pipe there, and then they've got to dig up this here, the block paving, go around the corner, and then bring the gas back up again into a recess box that myself and Luke have got to put in today, because we have to do it. There's the box there, and then the gas will be outside, and then our gas engineer will then have to reroute that gas pipe there and that one down there that goes into the house there, reroute all that back over to the new box over there. Other job for today, other than putting that in, because we've got the lintels ready and everything, is remove all of this ceiling. This has got to come down. We've got a 400 mil space above this to what is the new floor for the extension. So we're going to have a look at that, and then we can assess what space we've got at the front where it's sloped, because there's that bit there is external, if you like, where there's a little lean-to roof on, and then we've got to sort that out. But let's have a look at that and get some work done. So there we have it. Plasterboard is down. Put that light back up there temporary, even though it'll come down again in a minute when I start taking all this out. We've taken a bit of a video above this, because this is the old garage roof, just to make sure there's no cables or pipes above it, before I then start getting my recip saw and cutting through this now, and then cutting through these old ceiling rafters, or old garage roof joists, whichever you want to call them, and I can start stripping this out to expose what is the new ceiling above. And above there, up there is, which you can't see, which I'll show you more in a minute, is the old, or what is the, sorry, the new floor in the extension. Luke's cut all this out. We forgot to put the camera back on when we cut through this. We turned it off, turned it back on. Anyway, we forgot. So there we are. We've cut through that. Created a little bit of dust, but there we are. So you probably wouldn't see much anyway. We then got my grinder out, got the hoover out, the Karcher M-Class hoover that we've got, to then trim down and cut this brick down a little bit further to allow us to get these bricks and lintel back in with a good bed. Because if we didn't, the gas box, weirdly, why they don't allow a little bit more to get brick courses, we had to get 10mm out of there, then she wouldn't have got the box in. Lukey just mixed up the compound now, but the box will slot in there lovely, and then we will pack it slightly, and then you've got to foam it. You can't put any fixings in these boxes. The reason being is if you put screws in and they have a gas leak, you can get in and out and then into your cavity. So that's why you're not allowed. You have to foam them in. Because of the fact that we've only got single skin here before we start making good and insulate the inside, it's easy for us because you can push it in. One of us can hold it from outside. I can put a couple of packers in to make sure it doesn't move, nice and tight, and then loads of foam around the inside to make sure it doesn't shift. And I'll probably use that bonded stick saw stuff that we've got. Luke will do that then. I'll take this down. Let's just get on with it. Bit of time lapse to get this down, which I stopped because I was boring myself. I thought I can't just keep doing that. All we've had to do is cut through the sarking boards, as you can see there, through the felt, which luckily is on tar paper, not stuck to the sarking boards, as it would be a problem. We just moved the insulation over because this is habitable space now here. It's a bedroom above, which we've put some back in before we go tonight. And we've had a good clear up. However, I thought I'd stop and show you this because I've had to go out, first of all, and fetch an acro, a large padstone and a thermalite block. We've also had to put brickwork in there. Believe it or not, that bit of roof there, so this end of the, that bit of makeup which produced a wall plate for them, was held up by one of these with a tiny little bit of wood on top. That's what was holding up that end, so we've had to put some bricks in there. And then we discovered, even more alarming, is this big box lintel across there has been held up by a brick just sat on a bit of wood, a little bit of compo, and then that bit of thermalite there, not even, just about halfway, and that chopped out bit of thermalite there, and you can see a little bit of crack in there, like obviously a bit of movement and a bit of movement there. That's not great, is it? Love a bit of discovery on this channel. Love it. Love what we expose things like that. So like I say, we've had to go and fetch these, and we're now going to stop now, and we thought we'd get this done today, and we're obviously not. We've got to do this. This is important. Acro prop, thermalite to get rid of that broken one there, and a padstone in there. So that's what we're going to do now. Well, I say we, like the royal we. You're gonna do it. I'm just going to watch it and go, oh, ain't that good?
Short straw again.
Oh, and sorry, before we get set up, yes, I forgot to show this. This is one of the jobs we come in to do. That's the L-shaped lintel, if that's what you call it. L-shaped lintel. Does it get any more technical than that? And as you meant to, we've just put wedges in here, all the way around, and then we foamed it in all the way to the front. And that's all you can do. You can't do any other fixings than that. And from outside, that looks nice and tidy. And what we will do on this, because we've had to use some ready-made sand cement, because we forgot it, we're just going to come back. This will all get pointed in, rake this back a little bit and point it in, and try and sort of match the colour, because that's quite red, that compo is, so we'll have to match that. And then what I will do is I will put mastic around here, because you can actually paint these. So we'll see whether the customer wants to leave it like that to match this or whatever, and I'll put some white mastic around it. So there we are. Feed comes in here, meter goes in there, and then, oops, and then this bit goes in there like that, into the house, and then fixed with the supply screws. There we are. It's that simple, really. So that job is done for now, but I will do that up there, because if the wind catches it, it'll smash the door off. Right then, let's do this lintel. You have to excuse the difference in the volume, if you can tell anything at all, because I haven't got my microphones on, because they've just gone flat, and the light's gone as well. So I can agree that looks a hell of a lot better. Pointed all in properly, proper pad stoning, all better, a lot better than it was. So that acro will stop in now for a week. Doesn't need to be in for it, but it will be in for it when we're back next, to do what we should have done today, which is get this down. But that and that was more important. So there we are, we'll leave it for now, and we'll come back and get that done. New day, and we are back, and you can see we've made a lot of mess now, and the ceiling is all completely down. We've spared you the time lapse, because it would have been really boring just taking the ceiling down. You've already seen some of it. We have now took the acro down, and that's all looking a hell of a lot better than it did before. We've been and got some more blocks, or bought some blocks with us, and we're going to fill all these holes in as well. Likewise, we'll do the same over there. And then we've just noticed that as well, that it's not fully supported. So what we will do is we will put a brick in there as well, because we are now, change of plan. We're not going to have a door in the front. We're going to have a door through here instead. And then what we'll do is we'll have that opening there, knock through into that porch area, and then we'll pick that floor up inside to the floor level in the house, and then we'll pick this level outside up to the floor level of the house, and then run a ramp around here and then down that way instead. We're concerned about floor levels and floor space, in there, and we think that is a great idea. So we come up with that between us this morning. Me and Luke on the way in the van, we're talking about it, and then we spoke to the customer, and she said, oh, that's a good idea. So that's what we're doing. We'll have a good tidy up now. We are putting the insulation up there, look, doing all that, clipping that up there. We're going to insulate plasterboard that as well. Even though this is going to be a habitable room, we just think it might benefit as well from a little bit more insulation and insulated plasterboard. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to be using some of the excess rock wool and put it into this void, even though this is a cold space completely because this is outside, but we're going to put rock wool above here. We're going to put it over the top of these joists, and then in between, and put more DPC up. And then what I'm going to do is insulate plasterboard as well on the underside, and then just pink board around this steel, because that steel, that lintel is 2.4, so we've already got a great ceiling height without, you know, bringing it all down the same level. So it's nice to keep the height, because we're going to lose some of the width when we start insulating. So we are back at the garage conversion with an addition of another person. Hello, Matthew.
Hello, Richard.
Are you cold? Look at these pair here. Look at, well, I've got purple knees, look. No. It's middle of December. Look at them. No, it's not. It's middle of March.
Feels like it.
And they're both trying to prove that it's shorts weather. Because it was sunny last week. It was sunny last week. It was 17, 18 degrees. But now they're refusing to take them off. Anyway.
Who's going to crack first? Yeah, yeah, that's it. Matt's actually got his shorts with him. That's the point. His trousers with him, just in case. So last time we left, you would have seen that we completed all of this. But when myself and Luke came back last time, we insulated all of this. We took the rest of the ceiling down, insulated it all. We've insulated all up there as well. And what we're going to do here, in addition, because this is the cold space, it is vented already, and I think I've got some images already, which I'll put on the screen now for you to show that. If not, I can actually show you up there. And then we're going to PIR this as well and bring this ceiling through at this lintel level, because we are above 2.4 there anyway, and then bring that through there with PIR on this ceiling to make sure it's nice and warm. Whereas this is habitable space, so there's 300 or 400 mil of insulation stuffed into there, so we're happy with that. As you can see, the gas pipe's all been done, all the way around there. It's been extended to 28 mil because of the distance from the boiler. So all that's done. This is dead, so we can take this out. That is dead down there, so when we start, which is what we're here to do today, is to do the footing and then break this floor out. This can all come out. And we're going to fill the skip with all this lot. Bit of a time lapse then, of us breaking all this out. Very full skip of concrete, quite a good slab of concrete that was. No DPM or anything, but it's on a garage floor, so it wasn't really expected. We've taken out the steel gas main that was there. That just pulled, there must have been cut it, we've just literally pulled it out of the ground. So obviously already cut that. We've then found the feed for the power, which obviously goes into some kind of clay duct in there, look. I'm presuming so they can pull a new, when they pull the new one through, I don't know. Maybe that's what they did it for. So that's it now. We're just going to go through checking our levels. So what Luke's going to do now, we'll turn the laser on. We'll turn the old doodah on, yeah, on the front, mate. On the front there. And then we're going to turn this on. So that's it. Bluetooth. Put your blue teeth on. There we are, that's on. I'll talk about this in a separate video that I'm going to put on next week, and it's part of our how-to, if you like, on a Tuesday. I know some people haven't liked the videos we've done, but it's just little videos for specific people, more so than to fill the channel up with videos. So if you don't like it, I apologise. Our main videos are on a Friday. And what I've done is on next Tuesday, we've just gone through a step-by-step. I think there's 6 or 7 steps. Is it 6 or 7 steps I think we did? Yes. In terms of what a builder and a customer should be thinking about when you're on loft conversion, just to help you if you're having one or you're going to be quoting for one. I just thought I'd give you my opinions, and then you customers or you builders that have done it or had loads before can help me out and give me some more pointers, and I can pass it on. So that drill bit is 150 mil, nearest damn it, above the finished floor in there. So we need to work out now, measure down and work up our makeup to build this floor back up. Now I know we're already lower than we need to be. Now we've took that big slab of concrete out. So it's going to be a case of a bit of hardcore this side, because if you can see there, we are
at compound level there, and as we go across the same brick, we are a good 20 mil, 30 mil below the same brick that end, so we're gonna have to make it up this end and then sand blind it back in before DPM. So what are we thinking about now?
So we've measured down, haven't we, from our drill bit
Yeah,
to the finished floor in the bathroom, which is
Yeah.
there, and then we're going to take that down, and we wanted 325 mil
325, which is what?
for 75 mil of screed, 100 mil of insulation,
Yeah,
and 150 mil concrete.
yes.
Subfloor.
And that's from that end, because I've already said this end is a lot lower, so we're gonna have to make up anyway.
And
Did you mention sand then?
yeah, then we'll probably add another 25 on for sand blinding.
Bit of sand blind over this. So we're going to rake all the stones up because it's quite sandy this is now, as you can see. We'll just get the bit of stones up from after breaking the concrete and then put our sand blinding on ready for our DPM.
So 350, don't we?
Yes. So 350 from that end. We'll set that as our datum.
Which is pretty much bang on, Rich.
Is it? Well, there we go then. That's a happy accent, isn't it, that?
Cheers.
So set the laser up from there now on the old, on the level, and then we'll dip it over here. And I reckon we're going to have to make up this end by, I don't know, 100 mil. What do you reckon, Matt? 120 mil or so, 130 mil?
Plaster's eye? Maybe 87.
Plaster's eye? Poor, it's about 6 foot, isn't it?
As if I've got my level out the fridge.
See what I mean about it being quite sensitive?
Yeah.
Think fast.
Oh, it's not as much as we thought. Maybe the brickwork's out a mile. It must be. Because that's definitely, if you can see that there, we're just above compo, and the same brick down there, we're about 30 mil below it, so. Blimey. Well, no, that must be.
I must have built this sometime.
You must have. We'll check the level up. We'll check the level of the brickwork then when we check the old, what's it off? Check the level of the brickwork. So there we are. We know we haven't going to make up as much as we thought. It might be just to get a good couple of ton of sand, hadn't it?
Yeah.
Get the whacker on it, whacker it down, and then DPM it.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's a bonus. What we're going to do now then, we're going to set ourselves up again and we're going to dig the footing, ready for our inspection. Oh, I meant to say, just before we go, the lads have got a bit of a dilemma and we need you to help us with it. Now, all the older generation amongst the viewers, answers on a postcard. The description will hold the address. All the younger ones to get the comments. Now, they want to know, the lads want to know, who's got the best pecker? What do you reckon?
You get your pecker out, Rich?
No, mine's too small. But it was hardly worth the time, Max, was it? The time it took to do that. We've exposed the 2 footings there and there, so we'll wait and see what the inspector says about that. But we are about 300 mil deep there. Well, 300 mil worth, or 300 or 350 did we say? That was?
325.
325, in between. Of concrete, which to carry 2 skins of a brick and block work at 1200, I don't see what it needs to be any deeper. This is all ready now, as we've already pointed out, ready for sand blinding, and then our make-up of our floor to our FFL, which is over there, look, if you can see that. So that's us for today. We're going to get ourselves away now, filled the skip, got ourselves prepped for the floor make-up. That's us done. Well, we are back for a new day. I'll show you what the noise is in a minute, but our delivery's turned up, so thank you to Luke at Travis Perkins, who sorted out a very quick cash account for us, because we hadn't got one over this way, so he sorted that out for me. And we are back to, unfortunately, dig a little bit more of the footing, because the inspector wanted a little bit more out, and I'll show you now what Luke's up to. So what we decided to do while we're here, because we've got to wait for the inspector to come just to clarify he's happy with the footing now, we're just exposing the saw pipe around the corner. which as expected is under that window. So that's what we're doing now. It's been encased in concrete, so we're just breaking all that off to make sure we can then remove the, we're going to remove the elbow, are we?
Yeah.
And put
yeah.
a Y on it instead.
Yeah, slip collar, I think.
Slip collar and a Y on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Then we have to break through there into the back of the garage and then pull ourselves into the garage with the pipe and work out our connection and then heights, aren't we, for this wet room kit we're going to have a look at. Need to find out what height that is. So there we are. We're hoping we get this done before the inspector comes, and he can look at this as well for us. Then we'll have to go out and get some pea gravel, because this wasn't pea gravel at all, just concrete, and then put it back in as it should be now. Our inspection has occurred then. They're happy with that, 750. So we're going to concrete that now. I've got a bit of pipe lagging just there to wrap around the, I presume, I don't know what it is. It might be water, but don't know. Doesn't look in the right place for water because the water is over the other side of the house, so that could be anything. We just had a bit of a tussle with a bit of pipe there. That was buried up to there, and we thought it was like an old gas pipe or something bent over like the one we took out in the episode earlier. But no, it wasn't. It was a bit of scaffold tube. So there we are. We were worried about that, weren't we?
Oh, no, it was an old scaffold tube.
Of course you did, yeah. Of course you did, yeah. So we've also, whilst waiting for the inspector, we have broke through there. Let's get this out of the way so I can show you. We have broke through there, look. So we're happy. And then what we've got to do now is we've got our, like I say, our hole there. We've got our little inspection chamber, because we're coming out the back of a toilet. You can't have a rod in eye. You've got to have an inspection chamber. So we've got one of them to put in there, and then we'll come off here and connect to our what is only going to be a shower and basin. So Luke's going to do that, and I'm going to start concreting the footings. Concreting is finished. Easy job really, I suppose, quite quick. It's quite close when it's over there, I suppose, and you know, to there. So we're happy with that. All been levelled in, and that's exactly where we wanted it. A ton bag is just about done, despite having to dig it a bit deeper. So it worked out well there for us. Luke has finished this now, got the connection through into there, which I'll show you in a minute. We've got ourselves a little inspection chamber, which is what the inspector wanted. It's a little inspection chamber because it was coming from a toilet, which we've got. Pea gravel's obviously gone in. We're just got another 3 bags of pea gravel there to just to pour over the top, because you've got to cover all your pipe underneath and around your pipe and on top, and then we'll get the dirt back in, and I reckon that's us. Cut that down, get the block pavers in, cut that down to a set depth to suit the height of that, and then cut the block pavers in around it, around the new lid.
Yeah, set that on some mortar as well then, can't we?
Yeah, put some compo, yeah. And that's it. So we'll try and get that finished today as well. End of the day. I'm not sure I've showed you this, so I'll show you again. We have gravelled that, but I've just pulled the guy back again, because I'm thinking we're going to have to, I've concreted that in, round there, filled that way and then filled this way, so we know there's concrete all around the pipe, all the way up on that footing, because that footing there, I think, is for this block wall. The footing the other side is way below, so we're happy with that. We're going to put strap-on bosso, I think, and come up the wall to get to our basin, which is going there when this wall comes down, and then that elbow will then drop down and then come across here once we know what levels we need and what heights and things. But we are well within our concrete and insulation and floor anyway, because we've got to put 150 of concrete on top of this yet, and then 100 mil of insulation, so we've got 250 to play with, so I'm more than happy with that. But that will come down and point this way anyway towards our shower drain once we know what it is. And this is all tidied around here as well. Sharp sanded
I don't think we need to show it. It's quite tight. It is quite tight. And you'd have seen a little bit of footage that I put in for trying to show you what he was doing there with the drainage, and it is ridiculously tight. But we did the same this side. I've took a picture. It's on the screen now. We gravelled it underneath it, gravelled over the top, and we've concreted this end, as I've just said to you, from the other side. We've obviously then put that, once you've got your, because it comes at a 600 height, because it's on like an inspection chamber really, which is required because of the way the toilet comes in this way and then goes that way. That's why we've had to put it in. Should have been there before, but whoever did it before, it obviously wasn't regs then, which is quite a long time ago now. But all that needs doing is that's been cut off to sand level, the riser, if you like, complete riser, cut off, and then that gets put in. Sand cemented that in, concrete cemented that in, tapped it down. But that is just connected, so we're really happy with that. Great day, concreted and that connection done. All been checked and inspected, so we are happy with that as well. One thing we're baffled with, aren't we, is the inspectors come out and we asked them what insulation was required, or they would like to see on the inside of the walls, didn't they? And their reply to you was, I'll send you some information from the Celotex website, was it?
Something like that, and you've got to work it out then.
And we've got to work out the U value that we require.
Submit your information
and then tell them.
It's a bit weird.
So you pay building inspectors, however much you pay them now, to do all your inspections, and when they come out, all they do is look at what you've given them and what all the work you've done. It's getting ridiculous, isn't it? I don't understand. You come down, they go, yeah, should be 100 mil there, should be 75 there, you got 100 mil in your floor, all that. Nah, nothing. Work it out yourself.
You just want to know the regs, don't you?
You just want to know what the regs say.
Yeah.
But there we go. Mental. That is absolutely mental. But there we are. We shall plod on, and we'll get more done next time we come, won't we?
Yeah, we will.
From us then, this is the end of the episode. I hope you've enjoyed the first episode in this garage conversion. I don't know how many there's going to be yet, because we don't know, do we? Depends how much footage we catch when we're here, and then how long the job takes. But we've certainly moved on enough now to give us a good start to start putting brickwork on the front, to put the window in, cut the doorway out, putting concrete on the floors, insulating the floors. That's all good to go now as well. Now we've done the harder parts, which is the footing and the drainage into the building from the mains. So we're chuffed for that, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, I'm anyway.
I am as well.